Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take this one step further. We're going to dive into intermediate mechanism bones and intermediate mechanism bones. So we've got our mesh over here. Hopefully you've been following along and you made it up until this point, which would be great. I'm going to press numpad 3 for right orthographic view. And just for my own reference, I'm going to take this root bone. I'm going to make sure that we got individual origin selected. I'm going to press S3. Undo. Make sure you're in edit mode. Select this root bone S3, just so that our root bone is easier to identify. Next thing I want to do is this control torso bone. I want to give it its own layer. I'm going to type in torso and I'm going to chuck it in over there and we can make that visible. It's fine. Alright, so let me just show you one of the issues we're running into. If we go to pose mode, currently with the system, which is pretty good, when we rotate, the body moves. But this might not be the exact effect you're going for. There's going to be too much to animate. Because when you're moving your head down, often, what if your head's facing up the whole time at an object? Even though you're bending over, you're staring at someone. This doesn't work out well. And it would be more natural for the head to be up or not affected by that. So obviously you can do it the incorrect way and disconnect the relationship between the two bones. I'm not even going to show you how to do it because it will break everything and you'll be so limited into what you can do. You'll need 1,000 workarounds. So let me just show you the right way to go about this. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is choose wireframe mode. I'm just going to go to object mode. Let's actually choose solid view mode quickly. I'm going to go to the armature settings, viewport. I just want to see how this looks. That's no good to me. Let's leave it on that. I guess we'll have to use wireframe mode for now. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, we want to be able to bend our character down, but we want the neck to be independent of you bending down. So the way we do that, we create a mechanism bone, and it's very similar to drivers. In fact, we'll be getting into drivers shortly, but for now, we're going to click over here. Hold on. We're going to select our bones. We're going to click edit mode. We're going to click over here. If we go to bones here, we can see this is the control spine bone. And what we want to do here is we want to extrude a bone. So we're going to press E to extrude. We're going to press Y to lock to the Y axis, and I'm just going to press 1. And we're going to rename this bone the mech dash neck. Let's try that again. Dash rotation. I'm just going to leave it on rot for rotation bone. So this is the mechanism. I don't know why I'm typing it out. It's so unnecessary. But anyways, so this is our mechanism neck rotation bone. And what we want to do, you have to make sure you want individual origin or else it won't work out properly. I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate, right click to lock it back in place, and then press S to scale down. Because you're an individual origin, it's going to stay in the correct spot from the head point of view. It's not moving out of place. And I'm going to type in 0.5. And this we're going to call our mech dash neck dash. This one's called the mech dash neck dash intermediate. Did I spell intermediate correct? I don't think I did. Let me just quickly add an E over here. Intermediate. Obviously you can call this what you like. Rotation. So we only want to affect primarily the rotation over here. So we've got the mechanism neck bone, mechanism neck rotation bone, And then we've got the mechanism neck intermediate rotation bone. The next thing we want to do is create a new layer. Let's call this layer mech. I guess for consistency, mech or caps would be fine. In brackets, and we can call it mechanism and intermediate bones. And if we ever want to read what it says, so we've got our deformation bones, target bones, and we've got our I can't spell to save my life. Mechanism and intermediate bones, which is looking grand. Alright, obviously just for this to match, I am going to type in mech and do the same over here, so we know that it goes in the mech folder. Not that we didn't know. So we can select both these bones and we can just click over here, and now they are in the mechanism folder. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is select your, I'm just going to hide this bone for a moment because it's in the way. I'm going to choose the mechanism neck intermediate rotation bone. I'm going to hold in shift, I'm going to select the control torso bone, and I'm going to press control P, and I'm going to click keep offset. So we've parented our mechanism neck intermediate bone with our torso. Next thing we want to do is select our neck bone, shift, select our mechanism neck intermediate rotation bone, and we're going to press Control P, and we're going to click keep offset. Now we've parented this to this. It was parented to the root bone, I believe, but now it's parented to this bone. But this is parented to this, but this is still parented to this, and we know that this is parented to this. So everything is eventually always rooted to the root everything is eventually all parented to the root bone anyway. So, but this will help a lot for what we're trying to do. I'm going to press Alt H to bring that bone back. Alright, so now we can switch over to pose mode, and with this mechanism neck intermediate rotation bone, when we rotate it, you can see it rotates the neck as well because of the parent relationship, which is good. And now we're going to select this bone over here, shift, select this bone over here, Control Shift C. If you're not too sure, read on your screen, Shift Control C, Control Shift C, hold them all at once at the same time, and we want to copy the location. Control Shift C. We also want to copy the rotation. So what this does, when we can now move this, and it affects everything that's child to that, if that makes sense. And if we look at this, when we move this, you can see the head isn't following the body perfectly. It's going a little bit up, which is probably closer to a more realistic response. Actually, no, it's still more or less exactly the same. There's a slight pivot here, it looks like, but that's what we're going to work on fixing now, so that the head is still facing upward. So we need to go back into edit mode quickly, and we need to select our mechanism bone. So not our mechanism neck intermediate rotation, no. We need to select our mechanism neck rotation bone, and we want to shift select our TRT chest bone, and note that def is not selected here. We don't need to see all those bones. It will make things life more complicated. Now that we've done that, where this is orange and this is yellow, we can press Control P and keep offset. Once we've done that, we should be able to go back to pose mode, and if we rotate this, let's just move this over here quickly. Actually, we'll leave it like that. If we select this over here, this over here, we now have two constraints, and let's call this constraint neck follow rotation constraint. And Let's make the influence 0 for a second. When the influence is 0, you can see the head goes all the way up now. If we press numpad 1, move side to side, you can see the head is now adjusting. And because it's a constraint, which is what a wonderful thing, this mechanism bone, we could always set it up to the level that we think is appropriate for the scene we're trying to animate. And you can do this for all body parts. In fact, we probably will do it for a few other body parts down the road. But now you know how to, now you don't have to animate all the bones multiple times. You can just set these constraints to save you a hell of a lot of time. So now if we select this, constraint is 100%, and I'm just going to turn everything off except for the mechanism bone. We can turn on the TOT bone again, I guess, as well. And with the mechanism bone selected, hold on, let me press 3 again, just so I didn't select the right one. There we go. We can reduce the influence there and rotate. You can see it's not as intense. But if we numpad 3, select this, made the influence 100%, that would mean it would follow perfectly. But then obviously if we made it 0%, it wouldn't follow at all, and that also wouldn't be natural. So it's about finding the right constraint that looks natural and organic for your character. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope this helps you on your rigging journey.